Well, how's it feel to be reunited?
It's nice. It's
Very good.
I'm sure.
we both work offshore, so we go long periods of time without seeing each other. So
Yeah.
we're kind of used to it, but this kind of situation, I guess, is
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they
a little
brought you
different
home.
than normal. But
Yeah, I'm sure. Were you excited that you were able to come straight home afterwards and not have to finish?
yeah, I mean, initially, actually, me and a couple other guys had emailed the company, and I was only in the middle of my time. I still had another 6 or 7 weeks left. So initially, I told the company I plan on staying and finishing my time. But then after a couple of days of thinking about it, I decided I really didn't. My mind wasn't in it, at the time. And it's not a good place to be if you're not thinking about what you're doing. So
Yeah. But you were given the option pretty much, or were they?
no, not really. I mean, I think they were. We had talked about staying, but I mean, I think they decided it'd be better if we all went home and had a little time off, and they gave everybody the option they gave everybody a month off and gave them the option to come back and finish their time if they wanted to.
Yeah. And I think you guys have a very unique situation because you're also a sailor. So I know that probably put your mind. I mean, I'm sure it was very hard for you, but put your mind at ease.
I think it
Wiser.
probably made it a little bit easier for me than some of the other families because I did have the perspective of not obviously not knowing exactly what was going on the ship, but what the general plan was going to be, and what it was that was going to be happening. So I really think it probably did make it easier for me than some of the other people that didn't have the experience of having been on a ship.
Did it also make it easier for you, Matt, to know that she might have understood a little bit about where we're
I
going?
don't know. I know she's not real excitable, so I haven't. We've only been married like a year and a half, but I haven't seen her panic about anything. She's pretty calm. So I knew once the day was over and I was able to give her a quick call and say that we were all right. I knew she'd be fine after that.
So, was there ever a time in the situation when you didn't feel prepared for what was going on?
Yeah, pretty much the whole time. I mean.
Oh, really?
No, well, I mean, we train for this sort of thing. You just when it actually happens, you realize that you can't prepare for everything, and so I'm sure if it ever happens again, I'll be much better prepared. But I was really, everybody did things pretty much the way they were supposed to do them. And, it's kind of surprising actually because some you sail with a wide variety of people, and some people you just don't expect much out of. So to see everybody, just handle it so well was really a pleasant surprise.
Why do you think that was? Why do you think everybody was able to pull together?
Well, I mean, when you're on a ship, it's close quarters, so everybody, it's kind of like it's kind of like a family. You get to know people pretty well because you see them all the time, every day, 7 days a week, and so you pull strength from those people. You don't want to disappoint your shipmates because they're expecting you to do your job, and you're expecting them to do their job. So I think everybody pulls together and just tries to do things the way they should.
Beyond the training that you've received, is there some sort of like moral code to being a sailor? Like the captain goes down with the ship type of mentality. Do you think that there was any of that going on?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Especially for the senior guys. The captain, the chief engineer, chief mate. The captain especially. I mean, it was obvious to me the way he put himself. He gave himself up to save everybody else. And that's I mean, I sailed with this guy for 4 or 5 years now, and he's a total professional, and that's just I wouldn't have expected anything less from him. That's what he would do. And that's I've had total confidence in the guy from the beginning, and I know he's the type of guy that would do that sort of thing.
How long have you been sailing?
I graduated. I started sailing in 1994, October 1994.
Did you go to A&M in Galveston?
No, I went to the Merchant Marine Academy in New York.
Did you ever expect anything like this to happen?
Honestly, not. I saw the third engineer on Larry King the other night, and he said it's the sort of thing where you never expect it to happen to you, which, and he's right, you never do. Even though it was happening all around us, frequently you would hear, the mates especially on the bridge, they get to listen to all the radio, they're hearing the other ship traffic and that, and they've heard attacks going close by, and the day before we'd been chased for a couple hours by a boat. So,
oh, really?
yeah.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and that was another question that I had. I was just curious about. How do you spot the pirates? Like, how do you tell them apart from other boats that are out there?
Well, you really can't. They're like fishermen. There's usually a mothership and smaller skiffs, but that's the same way the fishermen operate. And the only way you can really, we try and avoid things that don't look right. And I guess the way you tell is once one of them turns and starts coming after you, and when they start shooting at you, you definitely know they're not fishermen anymore.